In this video, I will share 11 things that I really wish I knew before I arrived here for the first time. And I truly hope that this information can help you make your first trip to Thailand the best it can possibly be. And with that said, let us jump straight into the first lesson of today's video. What you give is what you get. I think I now realized why I didn't really enjoy being in Thailand the first time I visited. I basically just came here without knowing anything about the people or the culture. I only wanted one thing, and that was to go out, to drink and to party. And if you are disrespectful and misbehave, you will most likely get the same treatment back. But on the other hand, if you come here and show respect and interest in the Thai people and their culture, you will get so much love back. Thai people are really some of the most warm and welcoming people in the world if you just behave yourselves while being in their country. Lesson number 2, always bring cash with you. Thailand is a very cash-heavy society. Of course, if you are living in a big resort or if you're going to a shopping mall, you can pay with your credit card. But if you want like a more authentic experience going to the local market or like a local restaurant or getting transport around in the city, you need to bring cash for that. And also be aware that the ATMs here, they have a pretty high fee for withdrawing money. I think it's around $12 US. And what I would recommend is that you find an ATM that can give you, let's say, 20,000 baht instead of only 5,000 baht, which some of the machines will not allow you to take more than 5,000 baht at a time. And if you pay $12 on 5,000 baht, that is just, a crazy high percentage, and I cannot recommend you do that. Lesson number 3, always ask for a slow driver. Transportation around the country can be pretty scary. In my experience, most taxi drivers, they don't care about the traffic laws at all. They drive way too fast, they keep no distance to the car in front, and sometimes they're even on their phone the whole time while doing these 2 other things. It's crazy and it can be really scary. So what I have learned is that I always ask for a slow driver when I book my transportation, and also if I get into the car and the driver is behaving recklessly, I'm not afraid to tell him to slow down. Lesson number 4. Street food and local restaurants are absolutely delicious and safe. In my opinion, there's absolutely no reason to go to these more Western style restaurants when you're in Thailand. You'll be fine eating at the local restaurants. They are super delicious and they are very safe. I recommend that you find a local restaurant that seems to be a little bit more busy, because that will help ensure that there is a turnover in the food that they serve. And that is always a good sign when you see local people in the restaurants. And to be honest, I eat at local restaurants all the time and I've never had any problem doing so. Lesson number 5, remove your shoes. If you see a big pile of shoes outside someone's home or a shop or a temple or any place really in Thailand, that is a pretty good sign that you should also remove your own shoes. It is just something that you do out of respect of the Thai people, is to take off your shoes before entering certain places here. Lesson number 6. Thailand really loves their 7-Elevens, and these stores are basically everywhere, and you can get anything from a SIM card to sunscreen to different delicious snacks. And I go there almost daily to stock up on protein shakes and yogurt and stuff like that. And also when you enter a 7-Eleven, there is this very recognizable chime, like ding ding, when the sliding doors open, and that is something that will stick with you for a long time after leaving Thailand. It is kind of like an iconic sound that people joke around with, and it's just, you'll understand when you get here. Just go into a 7-Eleven and listen for the chime when the doors open. It's hilarious. Lesson number 7. Bring hand sanitizer with you at all times. If you are out and about exploring in Thailand, you cannot always expect there to be soap and hot water so you can wash your hands before, for example, sitting down and eating a meal. I have so far on all my trips to Asia avoided food poisoning, and I have this theory that it's because I always bring hand sanitizer with me and I use it before I sit down and eat a meal at a restaurant. Always bring hand sanitizer and always clean your hands before you eat in Thailand. Lesson number 8. Rent a scooter. This is by far one of my favorite things about traveling in Thailand. The feeling of freedom you get riding a scooter around in this country is just absolutely amazing. However, you should be really careful if you decide to do so. If you go to any hostel or just like an area with backpackers in it, you will most likely see people walking around with bandages all over their body and maybe even crutches. And that is most likely because they crashed on a scooter. And in almost all cases, it's because they drive too fast here in Thailand. It's so crazy. I'm a very experienced rider. I got my first bike when I was 14 years old, and I also have a driver's license for the real big bikes and everything. But despite of that, I always make sure to not drive faster than like 45 kilometers per hour or something like that. And that is because you never know what's going on in the streets of Thailand. It's crazy. You have dogs in the streets, you have small children in the streets, you have sand and gravel everywhere. And in my opinion, the single best thing you can do to avoid having a crash and ruining your holiday here in Thailand is to just slow down and take it easy, enjoy the scenery. There's no rush. 45 kilometers per hour is more than enough to get you from point A to point B. Lesson number 9. Don't spend all your time in a luxury resort. This is of course just my own personal opinion, but I don't think you should spend your whole time in Thailand lying by the pool at a luxury resort. You can get so good accommodation for only a fraction of the price, and very often these more cheaper options are located on the same beach right next to the luxury resorts. And when you stay in these more cheaper places, it could be like a bed and breakfast or like just a villa, not a villa, like a bungalow on the beach. There's a high chance that you will actually meet some really friendly and interesting and nice people that will make your holiday even better. At least that is my own experience. Personally, if I feel like it, I will book maybe a night or two in a luxury resort and just enjoy my time there by the pool. But yeah, honestly, after a day or two just lying around the pool ordering Western food and looking at all the other lazy tourists, I get so bored. And for me, Thailand is not around lying in a luxury resort being served all the time. Thailand is about experiencing the country and getting out of your comfort zone and making it like an adventure that has some uniqueness to it, and you can go everywhere in the world and just book a luxury resort. And in Thailand you have so many other options, and I highly recommend that you try them out, and maybe you will have a different type of holiday that you will remember for the rest of your life. Lesson number 10. Always make sure you drink your electrolytes. Staying hydrated in Thailand is really important. It is super hot and humid here, and one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to drink a coconut per day. Actually, I have coconut right here. And then you can also buy these small electrolyte packages at the pharmacy or 7-Eleven. And I recommend that you add one of these to your water daily, just to make sure that you're properly hydrated. Lesson number 11, and the final lesson of today's video, is to get your steps in. This is actually something that surprised me a lot when I first spent time here in Thailand, because I'm very active. I train Thai boxing and I lift weights at the gym, but still every time I came here I would gain weight. And then I took a look at my step count and I realized that I'm basically not moving at all during the day except for the hours that I'm working out. I'm driving my scooter everywhere I go, and then at my destination I usually sit down or lie down, and I'm not walking around at all if I don't make like a conscious effort to do so. So what I have done is that I have implemented a 1 hour daily sunset walk every day, and it's just an amazing habit that I highly recommend that you try out, because if you don't find time to walk during the day, it is very hard to compensate for all the delicious food that you will be definitely eating while staying here in the country. And with that said, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope that these tips will help make your trip to Thailand the best it can possibly be. And if you're interested about more content from Thailand, I have a video here where I show like a glimpse into a day in the life of training at a Muay Thai camp here in Thailand. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.